Now, much as the realities of the rescheduled elections are beginning to dawn on all, tempered expectations continue to mount over it. In the same vein, political parties are keeping an eye and anticipating each other. Nobody wants to be taken unawares. Good evening and welcome to Nigeria 2015. I am Neota Igbe. They all say they will give it their best shot. They say they will win. They even carry on as though they have won, yet the big day is still ahead. Several cases relating to elections and political parties have popped up in court. Cases with potentials to throw spanners in the wheels, all in a bid to outwit each other. That's politics for you. But will there be a big move or decision from any quarters that will skew the actions? We will find out. And our correspondents will report events from their locations. Well, we'll get to hear from our correspondent in the course of the show. Now, how is the social media platform going to work out? Is it gone to sleep? No. Our web team provides several platforms for you to air your views on the program. First, you can tweet at us using the hashtag Nigeria2015. Please use the Twitter handle at the bottom of your screen. That's at Channels TV and at Neota Igbe. There you can tell us your views about the elections and issues raised tonight. If you have further comments or questions, do send us an email to nigeria2015@channelstv.com. Back in the studio joining us tonight is Dr. Felix Obada, who is the Group Managing Director of Global Biofuels Limited. Also here is Mr. Bisi Adegbuyi, a member of the All Progressives Congress and Deputy Director General of the Amosu Campaign Organization.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. And Professor Bolaji Akinyemi, former Foreign Affairs Minister and Vice Chair of the National Conference, will join us via satellite. Quite a number of people consistently harp on the need to keep an eye on the ball. What are the developmental programs the politicians have for the people, they ask. Tonight we will ask them to tell us all about their plans if elected. First, let's take a look at the profiles of the two leading candidates, President Goodluck Jonathan and General Muhammadu Buhari. President Goodluck Jonathan, born on the 20th of November 1957 in Obia, Nigeria's South region. He was governor of Bayelsa State from December 2005 to 29th of May 2007. He was vice president to late Umar Musa Yar'Adua, and from May 29, 2007 to the 6th of May 2010. He became president on the 6th of May 2010. General Muhammadu Buhari, presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, born in Daura, Katsina State on December 17, 1942. Head of state, seventh head of state from December the 31st, 1983 to August the 27th, 1985. Indeed, he was the seventh head of state. These are the two leading candidates for the gunning for the office of the president. But what are some of the things that these political parties are promising the Nigerian people? Let's look at that, beginning with that of the People's Democratic Party. They've talked about restructuring Nigeria in the spirit of true democracy. That's one of the things they said they're going to offer if re-elected into office. They talked about developmental programs focusing on the agricultural sector. Again, access to free medical services for Nigerians. That's one of the other things they've talked about. And the conformity to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Constitution of the Federal Republic, as in the spirit and the letter of the Constitution. Now, they want to make Nigeria one of the 20 leading and largest economies in the world by the year 2020. Now, that's part of the manifesto of the People's Democratic Party. What does the All Progressive Congress have to offer to the Nigerian people? They say they will wage war against corruption. Otherwise, the post-oil economy will be disastrous. Then they will entrench federalism and the federal spirit. They will initiate actions to amend the Constitution with a view to developing devolving powers, duties and responsibilities to states in the spirit of federalism. They promise 40,000 megawatts of electricity between 4 and 8 years, 40,000 megawatts of electricity. They say they will decentralize the police and expand its local contents to include community policing. And then finally, one of the things he said, he talked about improved economy, that Nigeria's economy will be the fastest growing economy emerging in the world, achieving a real GDP growth averaging 10% annually. Now, these two gentlemen, the leader of the leading political parties, have been quite busy. Indeed, yesterday, both of them were on live television answering questions on various issues. Beginning with the president, these are the highlights of some of the answers he gave to questions that were posed to him during the first media chat of 2015. He talked about different things, he answered questions concerning different things. He talked about the new dates for the elections. He said they are sacrosanct and they will not be moved. Talked about scenarios where the elections are postponed for the sake of perpetuating power. That is not the situation in Nigeria. He also talked about the fact that Nigeria now has new weapons. He has acquired new weapons to fight the Boko Haram insurgency. He talked about conforming to the Constitution and showing that the Constitution is abided to. And then that Professor Jega remains the chairman of INEC, and he will remain so, even though he has the power to probably remove him, but he's not going to do that. Say Professor Jega, he believes in Professor Jega that he's able to do the job and deliver on the election. Talk about the story of the Chibok girls that given in the space of a few weeks that the story will change for the better. And when he was asked about corruption, he said, the word corruption is often used to cover up a lot of things. That's precisely was asked about a statement that was credited to him when he said stealing is not corruption, and he said he was actually quoting Justice Mustafa, who used it to talk about the fact that he looked at different cases and most of them were all about stealing, not just corruption. But then, moving on to flip over to the All Progressives Congress candidate, General Buhari, who was on the Amanpour show on CNN. He answered some questions, and here are some of the things he talked about. He said he disagrees with the PDP on the reasons behind the election postponement. According to him, INEC was forced by the military, that the military manipulated INEC to the point that they had no choice but to shift the date of the election, even after they had said they were prepared and ready to go. General Buhari also said that the military had been unable to overcome the insurgents because they were not properly equipped, that the funds and resources meant for the military had been misappropriated. He talked about according to him, corruption has to be tackled unless Nigeria kills corruption, corruption will kill Nigeria. When he was asked about the endorsement by the former president, Olusegun Obasanjo, he said, Obasanjo is highly respected and there is no serious issue that can be discussed without people seeking his opinion and listening to it. But you know what? Let's just take you over to some excerpts from those interviews, beginning with that of President Goodluck Jonathan.
I said that I will conduct free and fair elections, and if I lose, I'll happily go home. And it should be recorded as at that time, no African sitting president had lost election. But within this period, the number of African sitting presidents have been lost elections. But I said I wanted to create the history to be the first African president that will lose election. But let the world know that the elections are free and fair. Then I just concluded the late president's term. I was just a president for about a year, acting for some months then. But I said that I would be happy to go home. That this nation is more important than any human being. And I'm still maintaining it. Anybody who wants to hold this office of a president or any office at all and feel that he's more important than the nation, then that is not quite right. So if as at that time I said that I was ready to conduct free and fair election, and if I lose, I'll go. We're not to talk about now that at least Nigerians gave me the opportunity to be here for 4 full years. So if the elections are conducted and I lose, of course, they will inaugurate a new government. We'll make sure that things are done in a way that nobody goes to war. Nobody will go to war. Nigeria will remain Nigeria. And you, the journalists, must encourage that. You have a role to play, especially the online people. See, we have a country. We must protect this country. We can't destroy this country. And we cannot encourage anybody who wants to destroy the country. So sometimes there is so much pressure on you to report one negative thing on one